Assalamu alaikum and peace, good people of the globe. Thank you for tuning back in. Black Muslim in America, this is your host Bilal Abdullah Mujahid back again. It's been a while, people. I really been studying, man. I'm trying to, get my weight up. That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my weight up. And so I've been doing a lot of studying, taking a lot of tests. I still got one more test to take. And if I pass it, then hopefully I can move up with this position that I want to get. And that's really all the information I'm going to give. But, a brother trying to move up in life, man. We don't have time for this. We got to get this paper, got to get this money. And we got to make our lives better for ourselves and our families. That's really what it's about. And for our people as well. But don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share. I'm fresh off of coffee. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for doing that. But I know y'all recently, your boy Rollie Back is out here again. I know y'all seen what he said. If you stay, tuned into Twitter, you stay tuned into following the proper black people on Twitter, then I know you guys heard the recent shenanigans of Rollie Back, and he's one of these old niggas, man. I don't funk with no daggone Rollie Back. I don't mess with him. He don't know. He knows about white supremacy, but he runs interference for them. That's his problem. You on the wrong side of history. You on the wrong side of the track. You can't come out here to the yard because your paperwork is trash, dog. Your paperwork is trash, and I don't rock with him at all. He has this whole air of arrogance in his tone, like he just know more than your average nigga, and maybe he has some knowledge, but what are you using it for? You're using it against black society, and this isn't cool. And this is one, and the proof of that is, again, here he comes trying to run interference for white daddy. He has this whole I'm gonna just play some of it for you. This is what this fool done said.
Person blessing season, so you trust the government. What about the Tuskegee Experiment? Okay, let me say this right.
Talk on that for a second. Can I talk on the Tuskegee?
Go ahead. I was gonna go ahead and handle it, but go right ahead.
Because Tuskegee is brought up over and over again, but if people truly know the history of what Tuskegee actually was, Tuskegee Experiment was carried out from 1932 to 1972, just 10 years before I was born. It was actually ended. And this Tuskegee Experiment was actually the U.S. Public Health Service calling out to the black community saying, we want people with quote-unquote bad blood to come in, and we're going to give you treatment for bad blood. But actually what they were looking for was people with syphilis. And the thing with Tuskegee was that they did not give them treatment. That was the problem with Tuskegee.
Hold on. Let's slow that down.
Listen to them.
They were not injected with anything.
No.
What they did was monitor them. They didn't give them any. They didn't provide any medical care. There was no injection of black people to the Tuskegee Experiment.
I can't stand this nigga. And then he make the buck eyes after he says that. He makes the big old buck eyes like, oh my God, I done proved you niggas so wrong. Y'all niggas is so dumb. I swear y'all niggas is so dumb. I gotta do this every time. Negro, stop it. And this chick who he's interviewing, Ebony Jade, no, we don't trust her in either. Because if you go through her paperwork, she got a little zaddy. She has a zaddy. And look, if you want to marry interracially, cool, do that. But the thing is, when you do that and then you're against intelligent black society, and then you're trying to push this, I'm going to call it the scenery 19. You're trying to push this scenery on us? No, we know what side you on there. So no. And so Rollie Back and this broad think they done really proved Niggas wrong. Black people wrong. Like, oh my God. He's on some, I told y'all we could trust white daddy. See? They didn't inject him with anything. I told y'all we could trust white daddy. Y'all niggas always talk about we can't trust white daddy. But I just proved it because they didn't inject him with anything. And he clapping his hands like a ratchet black chick. They didn't inject him with anything. Nigga, please. It don't matter, dog. Listen to me. The fact that they weren't injecting them with anything or trying to help them with their issues, trying to help them with their syphilis, trying to give them or figure out a cure or, you know, give them some type of help and medication to help against it, that's criminal and wrong in and of itself. You know they have this disease and issue, but you're not going to do anything to help it. You're just going to monitor them and see how it destroys them and harms them. That's still not good. So that still don't make me trust you. Oh, they didn't give us no shots. They didn't inject us with anything, but they didn't help us either. So that makes, yeah, well, let me roll up my sleeves and go get this scenery shot. Let me just, go ahead, because y'all didn't inject them with anything. Y'all just didn't help them. So that makes me trust them even more. Even if that's the case, you see, I don't know the whole history behind it. So I'm not going to say that they did inject him with anything or didn't inject him with anything. But even if that's the case, that they didn't give them help and they just let them have their syphilis, that's still wrong, for one. And for two, dude, that's not the only thing that this white supremacist medical system has done to black people and to society in general. We can go down a whole long list of history of how the white supremacist medical industry has destroyed black people, harmed black people in society in general, even with Native Americans. I just got finished reading the book Killers of the Flower Moon. It's a deep book, great book, read that. These people, they was trying to get these Native Americans were on land that they were pushed to by the American government, and the American government didn't know there was oil under there, and they found out that there was oil under there, and these Native Americans started getting hella rich. So what they did was they would come in there and start killing off Indians real slick like, so they can get the inheritance and get their money. So they would have doctors who would claim that they're injecting the Native Americans. You know, some of them had diabetes and bad health. They claim that they were injecting them with insulin, but they were injecting them with poison. It was doctors doing this and covering for each other. You have that. You can just go through all type of history of this type of stuff. But somehow, some reason, because you quote unquote, I'm not even going to say you did, but you quote unquote debunked the whole Tuskegee thing. Because you debunked that, quote unquote, now we just need to go out and get this scenery shot. No, Negro, stop it. Negro, please. You know, and I hate this whole arrogant thing of the medical industry. Now that's how you know it's on some white supremacist stuff. Everybody who's against the scenery shot, the medical industry and society treats them as if they're stupid, as if they're dumb, as if they're all conspiracy theorists and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's how we are treated. That's how people are treated who are against or even question it. That's how they are treated. Even your boy Jim Crow Joe was talking about, the reason, people are so hesitant to get the shot is because they don't have enough information, and you got people out here telling them the wrong stuff. No, they're telling them the right stuff. But see, that's what I mean. He thinks he was trying to go at Facebook, because people on Facebook were posting hella articles against the scenery shot and, questioning it and having doubt about getting it. And if you look at the polls, many Americans are against getting it. The ones who say they don't want to get it, they're not going to get it. I think it's like 51% or something like that saying they just not going to get it. So Jim Crow Joe is talking about how, well, the reason they're not getting it is because these bad articles out here on Facebook. So now he's trying to do something with Facebook so they can't post up bad articles. But Facebook was like, nigga, we going to let people post up what they want to post up. It's a white supremacist site anyway, but we going to let people post up what they want to post up. And so he's trying to blame that. That's what I mean. They treat people who are against it as ignorant, because he's basically saying, no, see, you need us to tell you, because if you try to learn on your own, you too stupid to understand if it's good enough for you. We got to tell you. See, the problem is everyone would get it if they just wouldn't have to follow these people who tell them not to get it. That's the problem. As if people can't have their own minds of their own and come up with their own solutions and thoughts and do the research on their own and say, you know what? No, I don't want this. He's saying, no, you don't want it because somebody's telling you and you're not smart enough to come to your own decisions. That's what he's telling you. This dude, Joe Biden, literally said that Facebook is killing people because they're letting all this disinformation come out. But now he trying to walk back his words and say, well, I shouldn't say it like that, but it's, you know, it's just the outrageous misinformation about the scenery shots that's, you know, that's the problem. It's not because people, you know, he basically, like I said, he's basically saying you're not smart enough to make your own decisions. Just listen to us. Don't listen to those people who are trying to do the research and saying, you know, have doubts and questions. No, don't listen to them. Just listen to White Daddy and come get this shot. That's what he's saying. And it's gotten so bad that he's even suggested that they pretty much, you know, we already know we're being monitored, but they're pretty much going to get to the point. He was suggesting that he wanted to get to the point where if you're giving out quote unquote misinformation about these scenery shots, then they can go into your text and immediately, like, let's say you send something that's questioning the scenery shot, they can send a text immediately after that and say, oh, well, here's some real information about the shot because you don't want misinformation. What? It's that deep? Why do you want to push this on us? Why are you trying to push this on us so hard? It's very, very questionable. Just like with Rollie Poly, like the Quran says to us about the hypocrites. You got hypocrites in black society too. Those who side with white supremacy and want interference for white supremacy. Rollie Poly is one of those people. Just like you have hypocrites in Islam who pretend to be Muslims and they're not. And you got spies who helping out white supremacy trying to find the quote unquote terrorists. It's the same thing. And it's like Allah says in the Quran. And if we willed, this is in chapter 47 verse 30. And if we willed, we could show them to you. Speaking about the hypocrites. If we willed, we could show them to you. And you would know them by their mark. But you will surely know them by the tone of their speech, and Allah knows your deeds. You can tell a hypocrite by how they talk. They're going to slip and say something dumb, or if they're like Rollie Poly, by listen to how he condescendingly talks down to black people, and then listen to who he's siding with. He exposes himself. And I guess this is going to be the new talking point because black people keep bringing up Tuskegee Experiment. We kept bringing it up. These white supremacists and their cronies and their bootlicks, they done went into the lab and said, okay, how do we deal with this Tuskegee thing? Okay, see, they didn't inject them with anything. They just didn't help them. Okay, use that talking point, guys. And I can tell that this is going to be the new talking point for the bootleg black community at large for Negroes to get the scenery shot. That's going to be the new talking point because Rollie Poly was talking about it. This little girl, Ebony, was talking about it with the Zaddy. And then it was some dude on Twitter, on TikTok. He got a little TikTok link. This Negro got a damn purple Kamala Harris bandana with the wave cap, and he's trying to, you know, hip hop it up. He's trying to hip hop his words up to convince Negroes to get the shot. You know, they've been researching this for 30 years. You know, that was back when LL Cool J was still popping. Nigga, quit trying to be cool, nigga. You ain't cool. Stop it. And he's basically, but I said that to say that he's trying to talk about, he's using the Tuskegee talking point too, because he was like, yeah, well, think about the Tuskegee Experiment. They refused the vaccinations and refused the shots. I wonder why they refused. These people are sick, man. Why do you want us to take it so bad? And what's crazy is every country outside of America that has been against this scenery shot, they either going through turmoil, like they people are quote unquote rising up, which is probably agents and, you know, agent provocateurs going out there to rile the people up to cause destabilization so America can come in there and do their thing. But your boy out in Haiti got murked, and they said he was against the scenery shots. I think somebody out in Mozambique almost got murked, or they did get murked. No. Excuse me. It wasn't Mozambique. It was Madagascar. They said it was like an assassination attempt on Madagascar, and Madagascar was the people talking about they had a cure for this stuff, and they had very few, you know, scenery 19 deaths, and many of the cases recovered, and the media is ignoring it. But they said even the dude at Madagascar, they tried to do an assassination attempt on him. And then you have articles talking about the Tanzanian murder of Tanzanian Burundian presidents. They used the 19 to take them out, but they was against it too. And they're telling all these other nations to beware. So you have nations outside of America who are against this scenery shot, and all of a sudden they getting assassinated. And then as soon as they get assassinated or get killed or they die from a heart attack or die from the actual video 19, all of a sudden now they start shipping out the shots to them. So we know what's going on, man. This is real crazy. It's getting real crazy out here. But that's all I want to say to y'all, man. Keep your ears open. Keep your eyes open. Stay wise. Move above it. And that's all I wanted to say, man. Allah continue to guide us. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Bilal Abdullah Mujahid, a black Muslim in America. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out. Peace and assalamu alaikum.